one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty, at this time, I do need a motion to approve the agendas.
Second.
Motion on the floor to approve the agenda is presented, seconded by Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Carrison. We'll go ahead and take the vote. And that passed 5-0. I don't expect there to be any, but for the record, Vice Mayor, do we have any public comment? Clerk, do we have any public comment? No. Thank you very much. At this time, we need to have a motion for reading the ordinance by title only for ordinance number 2020-38.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor to read ordinance number 2020-38 by title only, and that was moved by Commissioner Hanks, and it was seconded by Commissioner Carrison. Go ahead and take a vote. And that passed 5-0. City Clerk, could you please read that?
Ordinance number 2020-38, an ordinance of the City of Northport, Florida, declaring a state of local emergency caused by the threat posed by the novel coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, granting the city manager or designee the authority to take actions in accordance with Florida statute section 252.383A, and suspending standard procedures and formalities for those matters identified in Florida statute section 252.383A5, including but not limited to the procurement of goods and services necessary to address the declared emergency, providing for findings, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing an effective date, and providing for duration.
Thank you, City Clerk. City Manager, I'll let you go ahead and speak to this.
Yes, ma'am. Again, I want to apologize. We inadvertently yesterday, due to the hubbub, we lost track and did not execute the executive declaration. I'm sorry, the emergency declaration, the 25th one we were supposed to do. As a result of that, the emergency order or the emergency declaration of emergency ceased to be. And as a result of that, we have 7 emergency orders that ceased to be active or executable. And one of them, I'm going to just go over them quickly. The order to suspending all non-monetary provisions of the police and fire collective bargaining agreement, that suspension went away. The order suspending all non-monetary provisions of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees collective bargaining agreement went away. The order relating to the temporary business signs in the commercial, general, light industrial, warehousing, and neighborhood commercial district went away. The order relating to the temporary suspension of water and wastewater late payment fees and shutoffs, that went away. The order relating to the conduct of public meetings by communication media technology, that went away. And the order relating to the temporary suspension of time limitations for living or camping in vehicles parked on residential lots went away. And then last but not least, order relating to temporary outdoor dining regulations and suspension of certain fees for restaurants. So as a result of that emergency declaration going away, all these other emergency orders fell by the wayside. So staff's recommending that we reenact the emergency orders so that most, if not all, these emergency orders can be reinstituted.
Thank you very much, Acting City Manager. Does anybody have any questions? City Attorney, please.
Yes, ma'am. It's probably a distinction without a difference because I expect probably everybody on the board understood, but the previous local emergency cannot be reactivated. This is a new declaration of a state of local emergency. Our office is working with the city manager's office. We already have the 2 new emergency orders drafted for the city manager's signature if this gets adopted related to the collective bargaining agreements. And we'll do the same on the other emergency orders. And if this gets passed, then the orders that require your ratification would be coming before you as they did previously as well. But this would be a new and distinct state of local emergency. By operation of law, the previous state of local emergency expired yesterday at 9:44 a.m. So from that time until whatever time you adopt this ordinance, if you do so, then that will be the time the city was not operating within a local state of emergency. This has no impact on the county state of emergency or for the state or the federal state of emergency.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
A curious
Vice
question.
Mayor, go ahead, please.
9:44 a.m., is that because that's when the first one was signed?
That is when the last extension was signed. Under state law, a state of local emergency lasts for 7 days unless it expires by matter of law unless it's otherwise extended, and can be extended in 7-day increments. The emergency orders and administrative declarations are signed by date and time. And so the previous one, the last administrative declaration extending the emergency was signed September 1 at 9:44 a.m. So it therefore expired September 8th at 9:44 a.m.
It couldn't be signed after that, on that day?
We haven't really evaluated that, but it's advisable to sign it prior to that time if possible.
Anybody else have any questions?
Ready for motion?
I just have one. The coronavirus, to reinstate this, I understand that we have all of these other ordinances in place. These are emergency ordinances that are only for orders, sorry,
Emergency orders.
orders, thank you. The coronavirus, how much do we stand to lose if we do not reinstate this on a weekly basis? I guess it could be quantified on a weekly basis.
I will ask if Chief Titus or Chief Garrison wants to jump up on that.
And I don't need exact, I'm just looking for an estimate.
I believe some of our EMS costs or salary might be reimbursable, but I'll defer to Chief Titus on this one.
Chief Titus for Fire Rescue District. And answer your question, we have not done a financial analysis what that would be for us. Things have, most of our emergency precautions are in place and we're executing those now. I think the biggest issue and the most significant reason to, I think, reinstate this would be the public assistance grant money and any other grant opportunities that come. I know the public assistance grant opportunity, I believe, runs through December. So we would not be eligible for any expenses from the time that the last emergency order expired until the end of December. If there's any other things that, any other expenses that are incurred as a direct result of COVID-19.
It could be a few thousand, I would estimate. I mean, I'm just swagging here.
Yeah, I don't, we can put that together, but I don't have that answer right now. We were not prepared to do that.
How much have you received so far?
I believe the city received one of the first CARES amounts was
Let's
46,000. I don't know.
Yeah, it was-
Some of that other stuff, so we're still waiting for how some of that's going to trickle down from Sarasota County. I know that Chief Tiefenthaler has been working and Valerie's been working on what we have that's eligible for reimbursement right now, not just for fire rescue, but for the whole city. I don't know what continued expenses. It's hard to foresee right now. If we get another spike, I think that would be the biggest impact. If we don't, I think a lot of that stuff, some of those precautions and things we have in place right now, I wouldn't foresee a huge issue. But like I said, we can put together, if you like, we can put together a financial kind of idea of what that cost would be. But I'd be reluctant to answer that now because I really
appreciate
don't want to
that.
just throw something out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else have any questions, follow-up questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve ordinance number 2020-38 as presented.
Second.
On the floor to approve ordinance number 2020-38 by Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Hanks. Anything to that, Vice Mayor?
To me, it's not only the financial aspect of it, but it's the other orders that would be dropped, and some of that deals with our local businesses, so I think it's imperative to get it addressed. Thank you.
Commissioner Hanks, do you want to speak to the motion? Anybody else? Thank you. We'll go ahead and take the vote, please. And that passed 5-0. City Clerk, do we have any public comment? No. Vice Mayor?
No.
Anybody have any communications or administrative communications? Thank you very much. It is now 3:10. We're adjourned. Have a great day, everyone.